If you've been thinking about sending a card to PSA but don't know if it'll get a 10, then this is the video you need to watch. We're going to be going over what a PSA 10 looks like and what defects your card might have that'll stop it from getting a 10. And don't worry if you don't have a microscope. Your eyes should do just fine for an initial screening. So I'm going to recommend you starting off examining the back of the card first. The blue and white contrast will make it much easier to spot defects and is going to save you a lot of time. This is a close-up shot of what a perfect edge looks like. It is as clean of a cut as you can get. You don't see any paint chips or exposed fibers, and those are really pronounced when looking at the back. Now right around this portion of the card is where I usually see roller lines. And if you hold the card around chest level with the flashlight on and pointed directly at the card, you can then start to tilt the card back and forth, and this should allow you to see if there are any roller lines. But if you happen to have a black light, just hold it at about 60 degrees and that should show any lines if there are any. The bottom and top edges are usually where you see a lot more whitening, so if your card looks like this, that's great news. So on this edge, we're going to compare centering, which is a crucial part of grading. And while PSA and BGS are both very strict on the front, PSA is a little more lenient on the rear centering. Right here I spotted what could be a roller line, but let's get back to the edges. Now right here the right side does look slightly larger, but we're looking at this under 50 times magnification, so it looks a little bit worse than it actually is, but definitely still within PSA 75-25 range. Here's an example of a card that got an 8.5 from BGS. You can see the right side is clearly thicker than the left, and the gap on top is way larger than the one at the bottom. This top edge looks great. Now let's take a look with the black light. Since this isn't a full inspection video, we won't spend too much time here, but usually when I'm inspecting with the black light, I always make sure to check around the P on both ends of the card, because I've noticed more often than not, if there are roller lines, they'll be in those spots. Everything looks pretty good, and I didn't see that roller line from earlier. Now let's check out the front. Now this card in particular is so beautiful. It's really nice seeing all the patterns come out on the exterior border. However, you should be careful because straight lines like these might be easily confused for roller lines, and they aren't. Now spotting imperfections on the front border is going to be a little more difficult. You can hold the card in the same position from earlier, but to examine these edges, I'd recommend turning the card horizontally. But remember, only apply as much pressure as needed because the borders are very delicate. Now this is a different card, but I wanted to give you an idea of what to look for. Here's a non-zoomed photo of a card with edge damage. Right here you can see a slight reflection along the edge. And under the microscope, that looks like this. Those were images of a card that got a subgrade of a 9 from BGS. And you could compare those here with this card. Everything is really clean and in order. I also think it's worth mentioning that when you're handling your cards, you should be very careful. The edges on new cards are very delicate, and sometimes even the smallest bit of resistance will cause an edge to chip. This happened to one of my cards when I was putting it into a penny sleeve. And this is what it would look like without magnification. Now just like we did for the back of the card, I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison of the borders. You can see these ones here have almost the exact same measurement, and that's exactly what you want to see. Also, a trick you can use for centering is turning the card upside down and then tilting it horizontally. Now let's talk about the corners a little bit. You want them all to be uniformly round, just like this one. If your card has this, even under this intense magnification, there's virtually no paper fraying, edge wear, or whitening. And just like the bottom edge, this top edge is a perfect example of what you want your card to look like. Now let's take a quick look at the surface. Now right here you can't see much, but when you turn on the black light, you can see this section does have some roller lines, but without the black light, they're undetectable. And the rest of the surface was in really good condition, but I'm going to be switching back and forth between the UV and regular light, just so you can observe the differences for yourself and allow you to keep comparing your card to this one if you've been following along with the examination. And if this video was useful to you or you just enjoyed it, please leave a like and comment, and good luck with your submissions.